There we go. Hey everybody, how's it going?
Hi.
This is Colin and Scott and Hunter here, and we're actually gonna Colin just is grazing my man boob right now. Thank you. That feels really nice. You're getting the left one. No one ever gets the left one, but anyway, thank you.
It's your sexy peck.
Yeah. I will admit I'm slimming down a little bit. I'm worried I'm going to be less cuddly. I hope that's not the case. But Scott, hopefully you can let me know next time you're in town. But
yeah, we'll definitely cuddle up.
Well, we always did. Usually we're little Bob's Burgers, but
Something like a little couch snuggle with Bob's Burgers.
Can I just say, I think one of my favorite things about when we would hang out and drink a little bit is that there would be times Colin was out of town. And I was like, dude, you could totally take Colin's bed. Colin said it was all chill. And you're like, oh, okay. And you'd always sleep on the couch regardless. I'm like, there's a bed there. Why are you...
I'm just like you. I love sleeping on the couches. Like, I'm a couch fan.
Yeah, like, I am too. And it was just really funny that worked.
Even when I was out of town, I'd come home sometimes early in the morning, and Hunter'd be sleeping on the goddamn couch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you have your own room with a bed with a TV and shit. And you're like, I don't know. It just feels safer sleeping on the couch. It's just nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, whatever, bro.
Well, there was that point, like the last couple months before we moved out, that after my bed frame got broke, I was just like, oh well, I definitely need to just sleep on the couch now because my mattress is on the floor. So it's just like,
I'm just glad you had a place where you could go fuck bitches at.
Yeah. That is true. I'm very grateful for that. But what I'm not grateful for,
so one time, like, I came home.
Oh boy.
And me and Nikki came home and we're like, we're going to watch something out in the living room. And I didn't quite know that he had a lady friend over. And I think it was Jenny.
Yep.
Yeah. In fact, I know it was Jenny.
It was probably.
And we started watching something on TV. And all of a sudden it was like, oh. And I was like, oh, damn. And I was like, all right, we need to go into my room and turn the fucking sound up loud because I don't want to listen to this shit.
How many times have you heard Hunter just getting it on?
I think
that was the one.
Time,
that
right?
was the one time that was like big time. Although I did wake up one time in the morning when it was him and what was the girl? Linda. Like, I remember waking up one morning to the sound of like, just like fucking, like what is it, like mattress like shit like hitting the wall like. And I was like, damn, this is like, he's like hammering that shit home right now. That was the one time and I like woke up and I was by myself, but I remember waking up early in the morning. I was like, damn man, they were banging all night and they're fucking waking up, they're banging again. I was like, this fucking bunny rabbit's getting after it. And I turned on the TV and I turned it up really loud and then I went back to bed. I was like, I don't want to listen to that fucking shit. I don't want to hear Hunter's vinegar strokes right now.
Personally, my ear would have been up against the door.
Oh
you go get it, Hunter. You're doing good.
So neither.
I didn't mind Hunter. I was more of like I was like, oh damn, Linda's just getting pounded right now. It was like Linda's getting some big black loving deep inside of her right now.
Hear Hunter sans the girl he's with.
It's very vulgar. I was just saying that. Like,
I was like Hunter wasn't making noises. I could just hear like the bed fucking smashing the wall, like with a nice steady pace. But then it's just like I start hearing Linda, and I was like, I don't need to hear that. I was like, I'm going to go ahead and throw on some fucking TV. I was like, I'm all happy for Hunter. I don't need to hear Linda fucking coming over there.
I didn't even know you had heard Jenny one time. That's really funny.
No, you guys were getting after it one time, like hella drunk. Yeah, and like me and Nikki had came home, and I was just like, oh shit, like I know Jenny's over. I was like, him and Jenny are getting fucking frisky.
Yes. left.
And yeah, I think we went into our room and we put the TV on. I think me and Nikki ended up banging too, so it was great.
Bravo.
Nice.
Yeah, so it wasn't a big. But the time that I was alone, I woke up and I heard you fucking the shit out of Linda. I was like, oh, hello. Good morning to me. And I like turned my TV on. I was like, I don't need to hear Linda moaning right now.
I think,
So I like turned my TV on. I was like, I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go back to sleep.
I think my favorite is like, so it was Colin and Nikki. They told me, they're like, all right, we're out of town. We're gonna be out of town. We're gonna go to San Francisco. I was like, all right, cool, guys, have fun. And that was a time where this other girl, Rachel, came over for the night. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And so we're hanging out.
Oh, knives?
Yeah, I love knives. But like, she comes over, and she was actually the girl I broke the bed with. And so I won't repeat what she was saying, but pretty much it led to...
Please repeat what she was saying.
Okay, sure, why not? So it's pretty much... Like,
Hunter likes really racist things said to him when he's fucking a white chick.
I do, apparently, which just speaks volumes about
Although
me. Although
you fucked some black chick, didn't you?
I didn't fuck her, we just fooled around.
This is
like
borderline the best podcast.
yeah, just getting it all
what
out
happened
there.
here?
So
I thought
like,
we were gonna review some movie. Yeah, now it's just like hilarious.
Because this is far more interesting than Ride Along, but like, but this girl was riding along. But anyways, basically, like, I didn't realize.
Scott's just like, this is borderline the best podcast that's ever happened.
But what's
I'm just listening to Hunter describe what
Hunter's gonna listen to this and be like, God, I can't post any of these.
Yeah, it's fine. Let me drink more of this wine so I can get it like even more funny. Hang on, give me just a second, boys and girls. Hang on, let's
whatever, Hunter.
I'll talk all day.
There we go. All right, so let me take a big old sip of this. Hang on. That's good. So my window.
That's what it sounded like when I had to turn the TV on.
So my window. So this girl comes over who I've been talking to. I was like, all right. So we're hanging out. We're watching Dark Knight to get in the mood, and I'm just like, all right, this is chill. And so she's like, yeah, where's your room at? I'm like, oh, it's over here. So because conveniently enough, it was like 5 feet from the living room. So I'm like, oh, this is great. And so we go into my room, close the door. Actually, we didn't close the door because Knives came in halfway, which gave me a very good chuckle. So Knives has seen Hunter in the thralls of fashion.
She wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Yeah, no, Knives is a very good cat. But
I heard a lot of moaning in here.
But basically, I left my window open, didn't realize it, and I forgot to even tell you to tell Colin or you this, Scott. So. Pretty much, he's on top, and she's like, we break the bed, and she's like, oh, give me that nigger dick, and she's like screaming it and shit. And so basically, we break the bed. I'm proud of myself. I'm like, hooray.
If you're talking about the neighbors, you told me
Did I tell you that? Okay, so I go out the next day, and she leaves, and I'm off that day. So I'm like, oh, cool, I can just relax. I go outside, and the neighbors, our neighbors to the right, not Barbara, not fine-ass Barbara, it was this guy and this girl, and they walk out of their house, and they just look at me, and they give me that look like that we heard every fucking thing that was said in your room look, and I'm just like, and I was like, oh, good morning, and like the girl looks at me kind of like damn, and the guy just looks at me like, you're a sick fucker. And I was just like, oh, alright, cool. And I think that's the one interaction I had with them.
So they didn't even say hi back?
Not a word.
Wow.
I was like, wow.
Did you really say hi to him, or are you just saying that?
I said hi or good morning. It was one of the two. But yeah,
that's funny.
They did not say shit back. I was like, oh boy.
So you had your window open, you were loud, huh?
She was really loud, and
I think they have kids next door.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
That's probably why they were mad. They're like, hey, if we didn't have kids, and you just like fucking like like traumatize our like 5-year-old, we'd probably be like, hey, good for you, bro.
They gotta learn sometime.
You just taught them the birds and the bees.
Yeah,
but you need to soundproof your house, apparently.
Yeah, but yeah, like I said, I didn't even realize the window was open. I was kind of like, you know, what wasn't exactly on my mind. I had one thing on my mind, and you know, so
it's not like you're fucking out in the backyard.
yeah, no, that was not the case. That would have been a good idea, but no, it was just, you know,
No, surprised didn't.
yeah, just it was a good night, but. Well, oh yeah, we're talking about ride along. Wasn't that our intention here? Yeah, as we go down a Hunter sexual memory lane trip there. Just that might be our best intro we've ever had. But I have to give Colin credit because he recorded this for some reason. Colin was like, "Oh, ride along. I recorded this. You want to watch it?"
Well, because Kevin Hart's such a big deal, is he not?
No,
like
he
Kevin,
is.
like Kevin Hart is like.
He's getting his money's worth, that's for sure.
He is.
He's been in like the NBA All-Star Weekend like 3 years running, like in like the Celebrity Game. Like everybody fucking loves him. I see him in everything. Like I don't know. He's just like
he's kind of hot right now.
as far as and like I don't want to say like black culture, but like I mean like fucking black people love Kevin Hart.
They do.
And I don't even despise Kevin Hart. I'm just like, I want to see what the big deal's about. Because I feel like every time he's in a movie, I look at the reviews and they're fucking horrible. So I'm like, I don't get why he's so popular.
Yeah.
So I was like, Ride Along looks like the thing that I would actually think was funny. So I'm like, oh my god, it's on HBO. I'm going to record it.
And?
It's horrible.
No, and I'm gonna tell you.
So I called it right when we started. I was like, hey, I don't have any hard liquor right now, but I bet you if I created the drinking game, every time they make a short joke about Kevin Hart, we take a shot, we'd be fucking wasted, we'd kill a pint.
Yeah, easily.
Like, and then sure enough, once Ice Cube and Kevin Hart meet, it's like one short joke after another.
Yeah, it's like a revolving door of just short jokes. It's like, oh my god, like it was those writers, like.
And he is, and I've actually seen Kevin Hart's stand-up, and I like Kevin Hart's stand-up.
He's funny, yeah.
Kevin Hart's stand-up is like 10 times better than Kevin Hart in Ride Along.
Yeah.
Like, Kevin Hart in Ride Along is so, like, situational, like, comedy, like, bullshit. It's so dumb.
You know what it reminded me of, Scott? It reminded me of Chris Rock. How, like, I love Chris Rock's stand-up. I think Chris Rock, stand-up-wise, may be the best stand-up ever. I think the guy is brilliant. But then you see Chris Rock in movies, and it's like, oh, man. It's like, you are just not... You are not very good at this. I mean, he's had a couple good movies, but it's like, goddamn, dude. Like, you should be better at this. And, yeah. So, I mean, let's just... I will give you a very quick... and I can't stress this enough, a very quick plot synopsis. So pretty much, Kevin Hart plays this guy named Ben, who's dating Ice Cube's sister named James, is Ice Cube's character, dating his sister named Angela. And basically, James is like, hey, you're not a man. You don't deserve my sister's hand. He's just like, well, I want to marry your sister. He's like, alright, you want to prove that you're a man to me? Well then, guess what? I'm gonna take you on a... Guess what, Scott? What's he gonna take him on?
Ride along.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. A ride along.
What a twist.
And hijinks ensue, and it's just like, oh man, that is the very thin framework to get these two black actors together. Just be like, all right, guys, let's see what they got. And I'm gonna tell you right now, there was not a script for this movie. There was maybe an outline, like you would do for, like, Cliff Notes, like, right before you're about to take a test on the book, and you're just like, alright, I just need the bare, like, essentials to kind of maybe pass this test. That's what they had here. And they probably had another writer who was supposed to go back through and, like fill in the blanks. And the writer maybe passed out, or, like, skipped town, and they're just kind of like, okay, well, shit, we don't have anything. Because... the movie there are these stretches that are, like, so unfunny. I think there was about a 15-20 minute stretch where me and Colin just didn't even laugh. It was like, oh my god, like, for a comedy, 20 minutes and I haven't laughed? That's really bad. And there are so many points where me and Colin talking about this as the movie was on, I think I called every plot point. I think I called everything. I was like, oh, well, Kevin Hart's a gamer, and he's playing this Call of Duty ripoff, which, by the way, looks like PlayStation 1 graphics. I can't believe they even acted like this was a real game. And it's like, oh, well, he's this big gamer, and, like, people online, like, love him, but he knows about these guns online, so that's going to tie in somehow to helping out Ice Cube to bring them closer together, but Kevin Hart's going to get hurt protecting Ice Cube, so they'll be better friends, and then he'll give him his sister's, the blessing for his sister. Like,
and Ice Cube is like the hard cop.
Yeah.
The bad cop.
Yeah, you can really set your watch to so many.
And of course, like, his partners, you know, play into, like, you know, like the cliche that they play into. And I won't, like, say it just because it's such a good movie. Everyone should see it. And, yeah, it's, I mean, while I was watching it, I was just like, oh man, like, they are trying so hard to make this funny and, like, action-packed. And they're just failing on both sides constantly.
Yeah.
It was so not funny.
It wasn't.
It was, like, that was the biggest problem, was, like, they wanted to make Kevin Hart, like, such a likable character, like, that he was never, like, really, like, that big of, like, a der.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, if you're gonna make a comedy, like, at least make him an idiot.
Yeah.
But, he was, like, they kept, like, every time they made him an idiot, they'd immediately, like, make him, like, no, it's cool, like, he's actually really cool, he's really smart, he's a really good guy, like, and I'm just like, this is stupid. Like, make him, like, some crazy, outlandish character where he's, like, you know, amazingly idiotic and funny.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, no, like, they're gonna make him, like, he's actually really sexy. He, like, he actually is, like, you know, like, he's really cool. But, like, he just kind of does some dumb things. And, like, oh my god, isn't it funny? He's pretty short, huh? Look how short he is.
There are short jokes galore in this movie.
He's so much funnier than he is in, like, this character. Yeah. This character is a horrible character, and then Ice Cube is just as boring as Ice Cube's ever fucking been. Ice Cube is so fucking boring.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, he's the hard fucking black dude, and he's just, you know, boring as ever.
Yeah, I mean,
it seems like one of those movies where you look at it and you look at the preview and you're like, okay, I know what this movie is exactly what's going to be like. And I feel like you go in and you're like, yep, that was exactly what I expected. Is that
exactly?
Well, see,
that's exactly what I felt. I was just, so at one point I left for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I think I had to take like a really, really terrible, like, hungover shit. And, like, I come back, and then, like, Hunter's just like, oh yeah, there was this really funny scene where Kevin Hart talks to this young boy, and the boy's just like, you know, Kevin. Oh, like, what's your excuse? You're gonna stretch? And I was just like, oh yeah, that was funny the first 10 times I saw it in the goddamn trailer.
That's hilarious.
And I was just like, yeah, like, I was just like, if that's the funniest part, I saw it 10 times already.
I will say I probably got maybe 3 laughs, maybe 3 like actual laughs, and then like 2 chuckles, maybe. And I will say, one of the laughs was not like intentional. Like, it was, so spoiler alert if you really care about this shit, but there's a scene at the end where Ice Cube has to there's a scene where Ice Cube has to really trust Kevin Hart, and so Kevin Hart jumps after the bad guy, the main bad guy, and does this karate kick, and Scott Oh my god, it is the most horribly edited scene.
We watched it like 10 times in a row.
Scott, I
Because
can't.
I couldn't stop laughing.
Scott, you cannot.
They edited it like he was like on like wires, like it was like a fucking. He was like Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat,
Scott,
where he did like the shadow kick, and he like floated across the screen, and it was like, oh my god, this is hilarious.
Scott, it's one of the most beautifully bad things I've ever seen in my life. Like you can't believe it made it past the editing room. Like someone in the editing room went like, yeah, sure, like why not? Like this will work. But I couldn't stop laughing. And Colin's right. We watched it like 10 times and just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, this is amazing how bad this is. Look, I like Kevin Hart. I like his stand up. And then even oh god, what's that movie? Think Like a Man was actually pretty good. So it's like I feel like he can be funny, but this is not the pun intended, the vehicle for him to do it in. This movie's really bad. I would almost give it a go fuck yourself if I just didn't laugh so hard at some of the stuff that just wasn't intentionally supposed to be funny. I know it sounds weird to say. So I will be kind and I'll give it a D. But there's really no reason to see this at all. And, like, I don't know. Because of Go Fuck Yourself, like, I just wasn't mad at it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
This wasn't Transformers, which, by the way, we all need to watch. But
Yeah.
I just wasn't angry. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, it's hard to disagree with that rating. This may be boring, but I'll give it a D as well. I mean, that's the whole time I was watching it, I was like, this is a fucking D.
Yeah. It just I never felt like it.
It was never like, it never pissed me off so
Exactly.
bad. Like, there's actually moments where I was just like, Kevin Hart had a couple moments when I was like, oh, you know what? I actually like Kevin Hart sometimes. Like, his stand-up is pretty funny. But this movie's terrible. Ice Cube is so fucking boring.
Yeah.
Ice Cube is just a boring dude.
And I will say,
I don't think he's a good actor.
Yeah, I mean, I will say for me, and I know people, because it's at 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I know people will be like, how are you not giving it an F for Go Fuck Yourself? An F is something that I just, like, I throw my hands up. I'm just like, oh my god, how could this even be made? But a Go Fuck Yourself is something that, like, sticks with me. And I'm just, like, angry about it for days on end. Like,
yeah, Go Fuck Yourself would be more like an Iron Man 3 or like Captain America, Winter
Yeah, I
Soldier.
hated those ones.
thank you. You're not.
I just love that how upset Hunter was just.
Yeah, no, a Go
And
Fuck...
he knew I was kidding.
He's like, wait a second.
A Go Fuck Yourself is like 500 Days of Summer or Pacific Rim, like that's
Hunter! Bite your tongue!
That's a Go Fuck Yourself. But
Pacific Rim is probably the magnum opus of cinema history.
that would great
It's
use
like
of the term,
Casablanca and then Pacific Rim.
yeah. But like, I just wasn't pissed off watching it. I was like,
The last time I looked at like the 100 best films of all time, like they were just like, you know what? Like a lot of people thought like Citizen Kane was one of the greatest ever. Like
boy.
Pacific Rim passed it.
Easily.
I didn't know
Easily.
That. I didn't know that. Damn. So yeah, I go.
I don't know. Did Citizen Kane have giant robots swinging fucking like freighter ships as swords? No, they didn't.
Oh my god.
So I think that was an obvious choice to surpass it.
Yeah, no, it literally goes Pacific Rim, Casablanca, Godfather, part 1. Like that's how it goes. But yeah, it's got. I mean, there's no reason you should watch this. Like, there's no reason. Like, in closing, I will say this is almost like a perfect Sunday movie where you're hungover and you're just too tired to reach for a remote and you're like, what's on? And like you turn on the TV and you're just like, oh hey, look, Ride Along's on. Sure, this won't make me wanna, like this won't make my headache worse if I just need background noise. Like that's how I would I would phrase it. Colin just pulled up his shorts as high as they could on his thighs and just showing his stomach right now. That's why I just started laughing. I just looked over and that's what I saw. But anyway,
when he says he started laughing, he means that's why he popped a boner.
pretty much, yeah. Colin's laptop almost fell off my lap because it got so hard. But like, yeah, I
I
mean,
feel like even if I saw that on like USA or TNT, I'd still be like, next.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not like.
Like you literally would choose next with fucking
Nicolas Cage.
Instead of this.
Yeah, I mean it's bad. Don't get me wrong, but I just wasn't. It wouldn't make my top 10 list for this year. Cause I just wasn't like I Frankenstein pissed me off so much more than this movie did like at any point. So it's like you know what I mean. I just wasn't angry. So. But I will be the first to admit the more I'm thinking about it, the angrier I'm getting, so maybe that says more about the movie, but I'm going to stick with my D rating, so yeah, boys and girls, go ahead and subscribe to our SoundCloud, like us on Facebook, and then actually like me on Twitter at JHunterTheRealPineapple. I'm starting to tweet now, you're welcome, and keep us subscribed and keep giving us your feedback. We love to hear from you guys.